All right, good morning, traders. Today is, yes, it's April Fool's, April 1st, 2025. My name is John Kerrigan. I moderate the BYOB Trading Room. Thank you for being here. Good morning, Brad. Thank you, everybody out there in digital land, podcast land, cyber land, everybody. Thank you for finding the value in my content. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for the kind comments. I love that. Thank you so much. All right, my SPY pivot this morning, 554.90. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. All of the Fab Five still in daily downtrends. All made, lower highs, lower lows, closing below their bearish traps, below their falling 17 EMAs. SPY closed with a 2-hour downtrend and a 10-minute uptrend. So we're looking for a continuation of the 10-minute uptrend this morning. All right, just no doji candles, no spinning tops, no red candles, and no topping wick candles. Gold and silver both in daily uptrends. Gold made a new all-time high. Silver made a lower high and a lower low, closing over a bullish trap over the 17 EMA. USO made a higher high and a higher low, closing over a bullish trap over the 17 EMA. UNG, high flyer, made another higher low and a higher high, closing over a bullish cross over the 17 EMA. US dollar index, still in a downtrend. Love that. Closed near the 104.21 area. SPY Max Pain. That's for all the options that expired today at 4:15. All right, SPY Max Pain is 556. With a put to call ratio of 1 1/3 puts to each call that expires today at 4:15. All right, let's take a look at some charts. All right, first chart we'll take a peek at is SPY. And you can see on the 10-minute chart, we got the price action candles right here. This is shaded sections, the post-market, pre-market. All right, we got the price action candles and the thin yellow line, that's the 3 EMA, up over the white line, that's the 8. All three of them up over the rising 17. Okay, all up over VWAP, that's the brown line. So that's a bullish trap up there. So we had bullish uptrend coming into the close. So we're looking for a continuation of that uptrend, okay? I'm just not going to buy into a big topping wick candle that looks like this one inside the box here. Okay, that's not my candle, all right? Because that shows me more bears, all right? More bearish control than bullish control. I don't want any dojis like this right there, all right? I don't want any spinning tops that look like that, but with longer wicks and longer tails. Okay, so I don't want either one of those. All right, and I don't want any red candles. All right, no red candles because that shows bearish control. So anything that shows neutral control or bearish control, I don't want a piece of. I don't want a part of it. All right, I want something that shows me bullish control in the morning for this continuation uptrend. All right, now it's highly likely and almost expected for price to pull back to, let's move this over. Let me take this off over here, slide this over just a little bit more, scrunch it up a little bit. All right, so we got an anchored VWAP at the low. It's almost expected for price to pull back, spike this anchored VWAP low, and then rip to new highs. We'll see if that happens, all right? So we'll see if, keep an eye on this, keep a anchored VWAP on the low, all right? If we get underneath this low anchored VWAP, that's bad news. If we break the rubber band candle that goes to this low anchored VWAP, probably going to see continued selling back down to the lows here. and maybe even lower lows. All right. We are at the beginning of the month. We've already put in 1 quarter. We could see some window dressing. Window dressing is considered all of the 401ks and the IRAs take their money and start putting it to work. In other words, they start buying stuff at the beginning of the year that they expect to perform throughout the rest of the year. All right, so you could see a lot of AI pop today, a lot of tech pop today, because and a lot of the big caps in the FNGA pop today. That's a possibility. All right, so we'll see what happens. All right, if we get underneath this, then it's not happening. Breaking the rubber band candle underneath this SPY anchored VWAP low here from yesterday. All right, so there's SPY on the 10-minute chart. Let's take a look at the 2-hour chart, and I'm going to take this off because we don't need that. 2-hour chart, as you can see, coming into the close, that's before the shaded section, we still had a 2-hour downtrend. All right, we still haven't put in any higher highs yet. Notice it'd be a tall order before we all the way back up here before we almost put in a higher high. So I don't know. Look, we're more likely to put in a lower high and then maybe a higher low and then pop that high than we are to take out this high all the way up here. We'll see what happens. All right, SPY 2 hours still in a downtrend. All right, see right there, see the open space, and the 3 and the price action candles are underneath the white 8 EMA. All right, so let's take a look at the daily. All right, notice here's a low, and there's a low, and we made a lower low. Okay, so that's a downtrend. All right, if we look at it with the quad lines on here, okay, let's zoom out some. Okay, you can see here's the midpoint, that dash line. Okay, price is just below that dash line, so that makes it neutral. Okay, if it gets down here below 546.64, that would be in the lower third. That would make it bearish. All right, right now it's just neutral. All right, they go up and they gave it up. So that's neutral. They go up and they give it up. Just neutral. All right, at this time. So there's SPY on the daily chart. On the weekly chart, pick up a clean one. Okay, here's a low. See, we made lower lows than this low. In order to negate the downtrend for the weekly chart, we actually have to climb all the way back up here and take out this high. Okay, so that's a tall order on that one too. So now we're in a weekly downtrend on SPY. Monthly chart, we're still in an uptrend. All right, so there's SPY. Let's take a look at the game plan. All right, it may not play out today. We'll find out and see what happens here. All right, on the game plan. Okay, pivot is 554.90. Below it, I'm a bear. Above it, I'm a bull. Got green erases. Green erase is red. All right, this would be the post-market, pre-market pullback. So back up over 559.90. All right, is a bullish entry, basically 560. All right, that is a bullish green erases red entry up over that area there. All right, I'm expecting price to probably pop all the way to 566, which is right about here. I'll show you why. Okay, if you take anchored VWAP and put it on the high, I think the high is right here. Is that right? No, this is a higher high. No, right there. Okay, so I'm expecting price to climb up on top of that and maybe even tag this spike right here. But 566 is, there's an open gap that's right through here. All right, so there's an open gap right there. Right there. All right, that's where the other candle opened up. So right about 566.27, right about there. All right, so that's where I'm hoping price gets up to. We'll see what happens. Again, it'd be nice to see it get on top of this high anchored VWAP from this relief rally. See the relief rally? Anchored VWAP high. So looking to get right up to that area right there. We'll see what happens. But that's a target up there. If not, can't get on top of that, then we probably waffle back and forth between the low anchored VWAP down here and the high anchored VWAP back and forth in between. All right. So game plan, again, up over 559.90. That's the bullish green erases red. Underneath 551 down here. Okay, underneath 551.50. That's the red erases green. Now, in between here, if a 10-minute uptrend develops over VWAP, I will look to play that. If a 10-minute downtrend under VWAP materializes, okay, then I will look to play that as well, trade that. All right, because we got such a wide swath here. This is 559.90. This is 551.50. All right, so there's like a $8 or more spread in here, and you very well could get a 10-minute uptrend or a 10-minute downtrend within this area. All right, so we'll see what happens. So there is the SPY 15-minute game plan right there. Again, we like 10-minute uptrends over VWAP, 10-minute downtrends under VWAP. All right, so there's the SPY game plan. Okay, let's take a peek at QQQ. QQQ game plan. Okay, you can see up over yesterday's high. That's the bullish. Green erases red. All right, and down here, okay, in that little valley between the two, in that peak between the two valleys here, right about 462, that's the red erases green entry right through there. All right, QQQ pivot, 465.50. All right, let's take a look at QQQ on the daily chart. And we'll look at it over here. And you can see QQQ, lower high, lower low, closing below a bearish trap, below a falling 17, below the all-time high pink line anchored VWAP right there, below the midpoint, down here in quadrant 1, that's bearish, okay? Making lower lows. See a lower high and a lower low, all right? So again, we could see window dressing and we might not. We could be revisiting the lows. We'll see what happens. There's QQQ on the daily chart. All right, let's take a look at IWM. Everybody got the same candle, by the way. Lower high, lower low, closing under a trap, underneath the falling 17, underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP. IWM also in quadrant 1, that's bearish. All right, FNGA. Again, everybody got the same candle. Lower high, lower low, closing below a trap, below the falling 17, below the all-time high anchored VWAP, below the uptrend line, quadrant 1, that's bearish. All right, let's take a look at the last one. Diamond Dow was probably the healthiest one out of all of them. Lower high, lower low, under the trap. All right, just barely under the trap. See that? Just barely under the trap. Under the 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP, under the midpoint, no, not under the midpoint, over the midpoint, under the uptrend line. So it's just neutral right here. All right, let's take a look at our technicals, T2122. You can see we spent most of the day on the last day of the month here banging around inside the seller zone right here. All right, and then we finally managed to put in a little bit of micro higher highs and higher lows to wind up finishing the day in the seller's chop zone right here. Okay, notice no new highs except for right here. All right, so nothing really fantastic happening yet on T2122. We're still in bearish territory below the midpoint. T2123, huge gap down. Notice the bearish gap did not get filled. All right, we didn't make any higher highs. All right, so we still have quite a bit of a bearish outlook. All right, big gap down. Big gap down like that kind of looks like, I got to say, looks like exhaustion. All right, so if they come back up here and start making higher highs up here, that's a failed breakdown. All right, and there's a possibility we start climbing back up to visit these prior highs right here on these first two green lines, and maybe eventually come up here and challenge that. All right, first things first, we got to get over the falling 200 SMA here. All right, first we got to fill the gap, then we got to climb on top of the 200, and then we got to make higher highs. Okay, there's a lot of work to be done in a short amount of time. All right, a lot of work. See the falling 200. You got to fill the gap first. You got to climb on top of the 200. Got to make higher highs. Until then, still kind of neutral bearish here. T2123. 3-bar chart. Okay, zoom way out. You can see big hockey stick. All right, big bear flag. Again, you hang out down here and linger too long. Yeah, and then you get a breakdown like you got right here. So you can see price action comes down. Instead of having that V-bottom bounce, we just move over to the right and linger too long, and the next thing you know, you're having a breakdown to the downside over here on T2123. Can the bulls rescue the price? I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't see any green showing up here yet on the 3-bar chart, so it's not looking good for the bulls at this time. T2123. Again, they got to climb on top of, they got to fill the gap, climb on top of the 200, and make a higher high. Okay? Those three things have to happen in order for things to start looking like a possibility of bullish behavior. All right? Other than that, we're still right back here at the bear flag. Let's take a look at FNGA. Okay, big gap down. All right, and I don't know if they filled gap or not. See, we closed right here. They did not fill gap, so bearish gap down. Bulls didn't fill the gap here either. All right, still caught underneath the uptrend line. Still caught underneath falling 200 SMA on the 15-minute chart. Still caught underneath. Yeah, all-time high anchored VWAP. All right, and an uptrend line. So still no signs of bullish activity other than the fact that we put in a candle that kind of looks like a big tail candle. All right, so it kind of looks like, well, it looks like this, but it's red. All right, that's what that candle looks like, because they closed near the end of the day at the high of the day. All right, so but it's red really because they never filled gap. Okay, so that's all we got. It's not really enough. One candle doesn't make a trend. Okay, you can have a 10-minute trend in that daily candle, but that's all it is, a 10-minute trend. So there's FNGA. Okay, we're going to need this to really get bullish if we're going to have a chance at any kind of a recovery rally. All right, if they're going to recover or rescue the relief rally, we're going to need the FNGA. All right, that's going to require some big cap buying. So we'll see if that's going to happen. I don't see it yet. All right, it's just one candle. All right, as a failed relief rally right there. All right, so there's FNGA. Let's take a look at a few other sectors. Start off on the daily chart. Start off with XLE. All right, XLE. This is, make sure I get the right candle. Okay, XLE, higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish trap. Notice it's up in the upper third. Okay, quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. This is the upper third of, of the move. All right, so that's bullish up there. It's over the 12-month high, anchored VWAP right here. This is 12-month high, anchored VWAP. It's over downtrend line 1. It's over downtrend line 2. Okay, over the 17, rising 17, over the trap. Okay, in the upper third, that's bullish. Okay, notice they hold up here for 3 to 5 days. They get a breakout, so looking like a failed breakout. Maybe they come back up. They're not leaving the area, which is good news, meaning they may hang around here, consume some more spinach and mustard and make another shot at it. We'll see what happens. There's XLE. That's bullish up there. Let's take a look at UNG. High flyer here. In a downtrend, unless they take out this high. If they manage to take out that high, they can negate the downtrend. They're in a downtrend because here's the low below the 17. They made a lower low. Okay, price action yesterday, higher low, higher high, closing over about a flat 17. That's these red dots and green dots. Flat 17 EMA over a bullish cross. You can see the 3 EMA crossing over the 8. So it's crossing from under up over. So that's a bullish cross. So closing over a bullish cross and over the 17, the flat 17, over the uptrend line and over this 12-month high anchored VWAP right here. Okay, 12-month high. Up in quadrant 4, that's bullish. Okay, let's take a look at USO. USO had a really beautiful candle yesterday. Higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish trap. Over the 17. See the hooking 17? See how it turns from red into green. Closing over. This is a 3-year high anchored VWAP. And that comes from the post-COVID high back in 2022. So over the 3-year high anchored VWAP, up over the midpoint, over the uptrend line, looking ready to break into the upper third. Right now, neutral. If they happen to get up here into the upper third, that will be bullish for USO. All right, so there's USO on the daily chart. GLD, take a look at precious metals. New all-time high. It doesn't get any more bullish than that. Okay, new all-time high. All right, and not exhaustion. All right, so that makes that's nice when you don't see a big green candle. All right, because when you see a big green candle, then it could be a sign of the top or the end is imminent. I like it when it's a new all-time high and it's a little green candle, meaning there might be more to follow, all right? Notice it's not an exhaustion candle. So I like that, GLD, new all-time high. Let's take a look at SLV. GLD, new all-time high, it's got to be in an uptrend. SLV, higher low, higher high, that's an uptrend. Closing, let me make sure I got the right candle. Okay, excuse me, lower high, higher low, higher high, so it's in an uptrend. Yesterday's candle, lower high, lower low, closing over the bullish trap, over the rising 17, quadrant 4 that's bullish, This is a 6-month high anchored VWAP as well, and it also does double duty as a 12-month high anchored VWAP. So we got a 12-month high, 6-month high anchored VWAP, and price is up over that. In quadrant 4, that's bullish up there. Let's take a look at SMH. SMH not helping us at all. Lower high, lower low. Closing under a trap, under the 17, under the midpoint, under the all-time high anchored VWAP. Quadrant 1, that's bearish. All right. Now we look at the sibling to SMH, which would be XLK. Technology sector, lower high, lower low, closing again just like SMH, under the trap, under the 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP, under the uptrend line, in the lower third, that's bearish. Okay, let's take a look at XLF. This is about the only one that's having good performance right now. Lower high, lower low, closing over a bullish trap, over the 17 EMA, flat 17, over the all-time high anchored VWAP, that's the pink line. Okay, up here in quadrant 4, that's bullish up there. IYT, transports, lower high, lower low, closing under a bearish trap, under the falling 17, under this all-time high anchored VWAP, under the uptrend line. In the lower third down here, that's still bearish. Transport. So we don't have transports. We don't have small caps. We don't have mid caps. We don't have large caps, if you ask me. Okay? We don't have anything other than the financials at this time. All right? Other than maybe a 10-minute uptrend that occurred yesterday. Okay, that's all we got so far. So it's not really time to get super bullish, but I am saying keep your eyes open for the window dressing. All right, that's all those 401ks and big money institutions going to have to put that money to work if they're going to want performance. All right, and they're going to want bragging rights. All right, eventually they got to put it to work. So we'll see what they're going to buy. And usually it starts off with the big caps. And we'll see where they go from there. So there's IYT. Still in a downtrend, still bearish down here. All right. So we don't have anything. All we got is the financials that's working right now. And precious metals. Energy seems to be working. Energy, precious metals, and the financials. That's all that seems to be working right now on the bullish side. All right. Let's take a look at our economic package and SPY max pain for today. That's for all the SPY options that expire today, and they expire at 4:15. All right. 556. All right, is max pain according to the data. All right, and it's 1 1/3 puts for each call. So a little over 1 put, all right, than each call. So there's more than 1 put for each call. All right, so 1 1/3 puts for each call. On earnings report, there's absolutely nothing going on. There's nothing here that's going to move the markets. There will be some familiar names in here, but nothing here that's going to move the markets. Nothing with up over 100 billion in market cap. Okay, nothing happening here, here, here. All right, here, nothing. Okay, all week. So it's whoever wants to grab the direction and run with it. It's blue skies. All right. It's free sailing. Whatever they want to do, wherever they want to take it, all right, it's nothing's going to obstruct them, at least on the earnings calendar. All right, let's take a look at the economic calendar. All right, economic calendar today, we got PMI manufacturing final at 9:45, ISM manufacturing index at 10. Okay, we've got construction spending at 10, jolts at 10. Okay, so nothing really major happening there. All right, nothing major or a big event to look out for. Nothing happening. No main events this week. Wednesday, ADP unemployment, all right, at 8:15. MBA mortgage applications at 7. Motor vehicle sales probably also at 7. Factory orders at 10. Petroleum report at 10. Again, no major events there on Wednesday or Tuesday. Thursday, international trade in goods and services, 8:30. Jobless claims, 8:30. PMI composite final, 9:45. ISM services index, 10 o'clock. Gas report, 10:30. Again, nothing major there. Okay, Friday, employment situation, 8:30. Rig count at 1. Nothing going on. So it's clear skies, whoever wants to grab the direction and run with it. There will be no economic data that will be market moving, all right, to obstruct them from or deter them from moving in the direction they wish price action to move. No earnings to obstruct it. So it's blue skies, whoever gets going today, all right, and it looks like it might be the bulls, but considering we put in that exhaustion move to the downside yesterday, we still haven't seen a higher high. All right, so we'll see. We got a big tail candle, so we'll see where we move today, this week. We've got 4 more days. All right, so we did the economic calendar. All that's left is the dollar. Dollar's in a downtrend. We love that. Lower high, lower low. All right, that's a downtrend. Price consolidating in a bear flag down here at the lows. Okay, price moves up, holds the higher ground, that's bullish. Well, when it moves down, holds the lower ground, that's bearish. Okay, so we closed the day yesterday right about 104.22, 104.21. All right, like to pop this low right here and come down here and visit this breakup candle low right there. All right, consolidating in a bear flag at this time. So there's the US dollar. Other than that, I'm going to take a break. If you got questions, put them in there. Hey, John, can I take a look at ABT? Yes. ABT. Daily chart. You're still up over the midpoint right here, Robert. You have a downtrend. You're transitioning through the downtrend. You're in the upper third. Over this consolidation right here, it's bullish. Okay? Over this consolidation, right through there. Move this down just a little bit. So up over this right there. So you closed yesterday. See up over that. That's good. If they can hold this ground up over this consolidation, over the uptrend line, consolidate up here on the back side of this downtrend line or up over this consolidation, that is a bullish outlook. All right, nice candle close yesterday. Day before, not so much. They were giving credit or value or credence to the downtrend line. And here they came right back and fought it off. So closing up here was good, all right, for the uptrend. So it's looking good up there. It's just got to hold up there. If it gives it up today and we're back underneath the downtrend line, not so much. Back to neutral land, all right? So I like to see it hold up there for 3 to 5 days, all right? So it's bullish today. It was bearish Friday, all right, because it couldn't quite get it done. It was neutral Friday, all right? Bullish today, closing over this consolidation. Again, if it can consolidate over prior consolidation, that's a bullish. Other than that, it'd be just neutral if you find it back underneath this line or right in this box here where prior consolidation was. Okay, you're welcome. All right, traders, I'm going to take a little break. All right, I will come back and open up the markets. All right, at about 9:15. All right, so I'll see you guys in about 45 minutes. I want to thank everybody out there. Again, 10-minute uptrends over VWAP, 10-minute downtrends under VWAP. All right, I'll see you guys in about 40 minutes here.